Rainbows for All Children has a vast network and community of passionate individuals who herald our mission to provide free peer support groups to youth around the world. We got the opportunity to sit and chat with some of them through a series of interviews. Welcome to the Rainbows Chats. After the storm, we shine.
I'm Stephen Russell. I'm a facilitator at the Park Ridge Rainbows chapter and starting to help get the Evanston one going at the Family Institute. I have my own experiences with this, with what Rainbows really helps with. So grief and loss. My own parents were divorced when I was 5, then my mother remarried, and my stepfather passed away from lung cancer when I was in high school. So I kind of went through it twice in my own childhood, and I didn't have any kind of group like this. And I know how important it is and how valuable it would have been to me. So for me, it's very much it only exists in the world if you go out there and help it exist in the world, and that's what I view Rainbows as, is the group of people who wants that to exist and who get together and organize it and plan things and have facilitator trainings and all these ideas. So yeah, I'm super happy to be part of it. My background's in education. I have a master's degree in special ed. I've done a lot of stuff with social emotional learning, and then now I do life coaching, which has a lot of overlap with that as well. So I've done a lot of it. The content was familiar for me. As far as the training goes, I think what was really beneficial was kind of setting it up as understanding how talking to children goes, different like potential scenarios, the idea of running it as a group, and there being a certain element of flexibility there. And I think also a certain element of improv, where we might come in with a plan and know, okay, this is what we're talking about today, but then that triggers an emotion or memory in one of the students, and now we're going to go talk about that and have the group provide support or relate, and that can spur its own conversation that can be really, really beneficial for everyone. So I think it's a combination of having that structure to rely on, but also having the flexibility to provide what the group needs. But I look at the curriculum very much in a thematic way of understanding, okay, if this week we're talking about anger or grief or whatever the case might be, that's the theme of the week, and we're going to present that topic. But then really the reason we're there is to talk about how does this group relate to that, and that might change based on the group or who's there that week, or who's willing to share or who's not, or if they had something that they really wanted to share but they didn't work up the courage from last week, but this week they do have the courage, and so now we're going to talk about it. Yeah, we had a student who had a really traumatic childhood story, and I work mostly with middle schoolers now, so it was probably 5 or 6 years ago for the student that it happened. It took an entire year before they were willing to share it, and then it took 2 or 3 sessions of them sharing bits and pieces of it for them to get through the whole thing. But that was a really big benefit both for them to have that space, and I think also for the other students to hear that story and be able to acknowledge what that person went through and understand it, and not necessarily in a comparison way about like whose story is worse or more traumatic, but more of a, oh, I know what that pain feels like. That's the real benefit of the group. Is it's not the facilitators, like, yeah, we're there and we help things run smoothly and we have a plan and a structure and all of that, but the real benefit is the kids supporting each other. I mean, when we talk about things like this, there's always going to be heavier days, and I think one of the most difficult is when the students misread a situation and don't know how to take something seriously or not. For example, we had a student who mentioned like the kind of suicidal ideation, and it wasn't a current problem. It was something that they went through when they had lost a parent, but some of the students I don't think understood how to handle that or how to take it seriously, and so they kind of played it off. And that's a really difficult situation to navigate because we want to go and correct that, but at the same time we don't want this to now be a power dynamic thing or a scolding type situation. We want to understand let's teach the kids how to receive that, how to provide support for it, and then go back to the student who mentioned it and provide that support. I think that it's important to identify that, like, as facilitators, our job is to help create the space, right? That cultivation idea, like, we're the bumper rails. We're not the game. We're not polling. We're not the pins. Like, that's what the kids are doing. The kids are doing that and helping each other. And so in this space, I want to help kids. I want to provide all this stuff, and we get an image of how that's going to look in our head, and we start to form expectations of it going that direction. And anytime you're working with kids, it's not going to follow the expectation. It's not going to go that way. Understanding that the group is meant to be a peer support, and that they can provide that support to others, but also they're allowed to receive it themselves. There's kind of a wider societal idea of, we don't want to be a burden, we don't want to be the one who's asking for things or making other people listen to our problems. And that's the whole point of grouping. The whole point of group is for other people to listen to your problems, provide support, and that's the way we design the space on purpose.
Thanks for watching this installment of the Rainbows Chats. Follow us on social media and join our mission of creating communities of young people who are facing loss and uncertainty so that no one has to grieve alone. Together, we can create a world where after the storm, we shine.